Now let's look at the second special product, which is called a perfect square trinomial. This is where you take the binomial a plus b and you square it, or a minus b and you square it. This would be what you would get. Let's try x plus 7, and let's square that. Remember, that means x plus 7 times x plus 7. The first is x squared. We have plus 7x plus 7x. That gives us plus 14x plus 49. This is the first, this is the outer and inners, this is the last. And you should be able to now do this in your head and join those together. Let's take x minus 6 squared. That means x minus 6 times x minus 6. The first, or x squared, minus 6x minus 6x. That's minus 12x, plus 36. The way you are going to recognize factoring the trinomial square, or the square of a binomial, the first number is a perfect square, the last number is a perfect square. See a perfect square? Perfect square. If you look at the square roots of those, x7, x6, the middle term comes from twice the product, because your outers will be a 7x, your inners will be a 7x. So this will be twice 7, or 14x. This will be twice 6, or 12. Now this is also a minus because the middle term is minus. So let's factor. Let's say we have x squared plus 10x plus 25. Let's say we have x squared minus 22x plus 121. Let's look at these two. You recognize this is a trinomial square of a binomial, because this is a perfect square, this is a perfect square. Square root is x, square root is 5. If I multiply those, I get 5x. I double it, I get 10x. So this is x plus 5 squared. Now you could use a trial and error method and figure it out, but if you recognize these are perfect squares, they will factor quickly. This perfect square, or square root, is x. This is 11, and that's a negative, so it's x minus 11 squared. X squared minus 16x plus 64. That's a perfect square. This is a perfect square. This is twice the product of 8x, giving you 16x, but this is a negative, so it's minus x minus 8 squared. If the middle term is positive, the perfect square is 8. The perfect square is x. This one is x plus 8 squared. So again, you recognize them by seeing that the a is a perfect square and the last one is a perfect square. The middle term is twice their product.